Hello, extra special members content. You've just chosen to watch the extended edition. So this is the end of this campaign. And I'm going to see how I can take this naturally further. We made some good progress here, haven't we? Okay. What we got going on? We have our full 4 armies. And to be fair with you, we probably could disband this militia. We might as well use it, I suppose. There's no disadvantage to having it and not using it. Okay. Let's, first of all, what resources? Another one, steel. Is there any way we can develop some steel? Oh, those 2 regions. That's good. And then we have to build the infrastructure on top of that. Make the most of the steel that we're gaining. If you want to look for where your steel production is, you can hover over here and have a look at the numbers. So we produce 380 steel. And the maximum steel production is in the Khyber Pass, is that? Khyber Pass? KHYBR. It's here. We've already maxed the infrastructure on that one. And go again. There was another one. It looked like it was in somewhere in Russia. The list is too long to actually see them all. There's also Magnilisk. This one? Oh, that's the one we're developing, isn't it? No, but we are now. There we go. Just a little bit of extra steel. We're currently on export, so we could do limited exports if we wanted to balance the economy. But the economy is still okay, so I don't think that's something we need to dabble any deeper in. When it comes down to land warfare facility, I feel this is a bit of a waste of time for me. Now I'm just going to disband it. Are we at war with anyone? We're at war with the Allies. And we could go for the Axis. Probably China is the easier one to go for. Surely the Timurids would invade China, right? Alright. Where do we naturally flow from here? I guess we stack some more softer time, but we have all the upgrades for that. Take it one step further, I suppose we could go for a light tank recon, I suppose. And we'll add that on. Will we actually invest into it? I don't know, but at least we're using our research. It comes down to production. National focuses. Let's have a look. War against Iran. War against China. Yeah, this we would completely swarm them if we did this. Fortunately, supply here is really rotten. I'm gonna pop you guys here. Then the militia army can go into this pass here. Oop. You hit tab, you can rotate through the different front lines. Get everyone on the front line, move them over. We go. Mountain training, irregular extra attack and defense. Well, I may be stupid not to take it, right? And then top it off, we'll drop some spies into China. It's not efficient to double stack them, but there's nowhere else to put them, so it is what it is. Stability is a little bit low. There's not really much we can do about that. We'll do anti-communist raids just to try and balance the stability. We've got a lot of Soviet influence inside of our country. There's not a lot we can do about that. When you're not aligned, you're kind of restricted to what you can actually do. Might go for an elephant army, not certain. A lot of the bonuses follow over, apart from a 20% attack bonus. We'll see how things go. Supply is always going to be issues with elephants. Because elephants do need a lot of supply. I'm going to click through all these to get rid of them. Scavenger. Infantry expert. Really what I'm going for. Army attack. I've gone for offensive doctrine. I could get someone in the officer corps. I guess we could do planning. Planning speed's kind of boring. Do recruiting, regrouping. Org recovery is quite useful. Let's get everyone in position. Yep. Move everyone over. And then we can manually justify 10 days. Yeah, let's do it. Be aware there's going to be more front lines here. And eventually there will be a war. Oh, no, they might not join the Axis, actually. So in that circumstance, making this front line narrow is the way forward. What I'm thinking is, they usually join the opposing faction, so therefore all the factions will be at war with the same nations. But in this circumstance, that doesn't appear to be the case. Is there a gap? Oh, there's a gap here, actually. I probably should have you guys here as well. 2 divisions left behind. Oh, here. Oh, that'll do. Make sure they're going maximum speed. Yeah, they are. Declare war. Let's not mess around. Not mess around. Attack. So guys, you're having a personal one-on-one with me here. If you are a members content person, congratulations, you are a member. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. If this is the kind of stuff you're into, let me know. Or if there's something else you'd like me to cover, let me know too. Once again, this is your personal one-on-one with me. So if you ask comments in this, I will definitely reply, and I'll try my absolute best to, I don't know, appease your needs, I guess. We're going to go for a tank factory here for the Mayo. I don't think we start with one, but when we click that, we can adopt to one. Now we're at war with China. Excavation. Oil tech. That feels like a waste of technology. Radio's good, though. Let me have a look. We're not really going for anti-air, so I don't know why I'm researching that. I realise there's a victory point there. We should probably go for that. That will cap. I realise there's a fallback line here. If there's no front lines available, these are mountaineers that I can't delete. Never mind, we'll just keep them here. I realize if there's a front line by an army, it can sometimes come back to bite you, because if the front line is covered, if the front line is confirmed and like a front line and an offensive order has been completely completed, they'll go back to another order, like a fallback line somewhere else. Just FYI, that can cause you problems. So extend that front line. I'm going to go H to hold and Control B to railroad to the front line. Keep an eye on the equipment. Oh, wait. So much equipment. Okay, so light tank. We want to go for the maximum amount of armor. I'm just spotted there's no armor. There's one armor down here. And there's another one here. Both of them at the bottom of the focus tree. Not ideal, but it is what it is. I'm holding shift to queue them up there, if anyone's wondering. If you guys have any questions about specifically how I play the game, just ask me and I'll do my best to help you out. Experimental facilities. We've got barely no breakthroughs. 0 breakthroughs for Navy, because Navy and the Timurids, were the Timurids famous for Navy? I imagine they probably had some Navy, right? Okay, we're going to attack. And there's only one supply depot and it's not currently connected. I'm going to click and run it to my capital. Is here. Shift that to the top and start building it. The idea of these videos, guys, is I have either a goal in mind that I like to complete, just to show you some extended gameplay, or maybe I just play for an hour and then when I get bored, hop out. Once again, just to show you a continuation of the campaign and something that I could be up to. Definitely occupying China is an easy win, though. We also have Dominate the Mountains. Special Forces gains an extra Mountaineer. Why not? The Mountain Gun. I actually don't know what that actually is. I don't think there's a specific mountain gun. I always see that one and I don't actually know what it means. Rip. Alright. This circumstance, when the front line's open, you just right click and move to the victory points. And capture the capital is always worthwhile. I realize Germany's at war with China anyway, so that's fine. Control B gets the front line. Right click. You want to go for the supply depots. So again, there's no supply here, so that's a bloody nightmare. So I'm just going to pop that there. Connect up those railways. Right now we're in a situation where we're making more mills doesn't really help us, so probably making a few civs would be useful. Also, I'm forgetting about coring. You should keep coring. Shame that Paradox won't let you core more than one in one go, but it is what it is. We'll keep a few civs. Cancel a few off here. Reduce the queue so we don't lose the progress of the existing one. And there we go. Easy. Alright, just waiting for the front line to move. Yunnan has not joined the war. We're going to force them to join the war. What happens is the AI realizes it's not comfortable in joining the war with its faction because it's got troops on the front line. So what it does is it just sits on the front line, doesn't declare war. Or because the Yunnan troops are fighting against the Japanese, more than likely. Pushing forward. Go, go, go. We connect up the railways. Then at that point, we'll get some good supply. Another supply depot. So once again, this is a little bit of a whack-a-mole game of connecting up the supply depots as you push forward. All right, Yunnan, here we go. Off you go. There's no connections here, is there? So this squiggly line means inaccessible. Oh, as you'd imagine, cannot access that. Did I say there was a visor earlier that gave a construction bonus? Oh, I've already got him. That means I get an extra plus 10% construction bonus. over the top of my existing construction, which is just massive. Oh my god, some of those railway bonuses are insane. Another one connected up. I realize that's not very high. So what I'm going to do is I'll max it out. Not advisable, but I've got the excess production, so it's like one of those moments of why not moments, you know what I mean? But max it out, it means the capacity goes up. I think it also increases the local supply as well. Alright, we're moving forward. Can we get that supply depot? There's a chance this is not actually a physical supply depot. This is a temporary supply depot because it's a capital region. You'll notice if it's a real one or not. Because if you click on it and look in the bottom left here, can you see this? That tells you this is not a supply depot. But it denies them supply, so why not, right? Agent has been captured. Let's rescue him. Once again, I'm playing whack-a-mole, not only with railways, but also with spies. My favorite thing to do. Pushing into Yunnan here, making some big gains. Oh, swallowing them up here. This is a supply depot. No, Yunnan has capped. We've got several front lines here. This is where the front lines get kind of weird. Maybe asking for access from Japan would be the way forward. What you got to do here is delete off these front lines. And then make a unified front line. Yeah. Control B, get them to the front. Kind of autopiloting in here. It says that we're low on equipment here, but ignore that. This is the number you want to look at. And we've got so much excess equipment, it's not a big deal. Have a look at the front lines here. Oh, hello. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, that's never something I've ever experienced. Okay, maybe invading the Axis in this game is probably not going to be likely. Okay. I'll give it a go, though, for a laugh. Why not? Alright, I think anti-air is going to be essential if I am going to be invading the Axis. We'll give it a shot, though. Why not? For a laugh, right? Then we can add on anti-air and Rangers, too. Ooh, Rangers? Realize the special forces could be tweaked as well. This one's better for the existing Rangers. Right now we have no anti-air. How far behind an anti-air? If you hover over the logistics red number, gives you a breakdown. There you go, 200 days, 183 days, 172. That number's dropping down dramatically. Once again, the estimates are completely off. Oh, loads of Lend-Lease for anti-air. I will accept. The biggest issue is with this war is Japan has the lion's share of the contribution. In that circumstance, it means that when the war's over, Japan just takes everything, so we don't really get anything anyway. Might be worthwhile to disband this faction here and then join the Axis. So I'm probably going to boot Yemen from my faction, disband the faction. We have mutual friends and enemies, so I'm going to join the Axis. I realize now, actually, I won't actually be able to declare war on the Axis. But I will be able to invade Japan. Oh, which is a consolidation, I guess. Consolation. That's the word I was looking for. Consolation, not consolidation. Basic light tank. Basic? No. Alright, I feel like all that research I actually need. Is there any more research slots? I don't think I have, but I'll have a look. Research. Well, there is one here. Oh, but that's not part of my focus tree. For some reason, with some focuses, they disappear when you can't go for them. In some instances, they stay there forever. No, I don't think there is. Push! Germany is declared on the Soviet Union. Soviet Union. Which has 0 armies, 0 factories, and 1 to 3 divisions. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright. Once again, supply situation is dreadful. Chongqing usually has a supply depot, but it's because it's the capital of China. You can build some more, I suppose, if you really want to, but I'm not gonna. There's a gap in the front line there, so I'm going to move into there. Only issue is breaking those mountains. Lend-Lease has been cancelled. more free mountaineers. Why not? Shall we have a look at what the mountaineers consist of? Yeah. Oh yeah, they're rubbish. Can I delete? I delete those ones, but not the other ones. Good idea to delete them in all fairness, because you don't really just give the equipment back into the pool, you know. Let's have a look at my anti-air. Ethiopia's capped. Do I have any I've got 13% contribution, but there's nothing I can actually take. The African Union has collapsed. Right, we have supply. What I'm going to do is connect that up. Wow, I can't believe China's still holding on. Wuhan, the capital of China. Pretty funny, right? All right, I'm going to take this line because technically this is ancestral Asia, right? The Turks. Turks, is that the right word? Turks? Turk people should be part of the Timurids, right? Say yes in the comments, guys. Just be like, yes, Dave, I agree. Yes. So my contribution here was 14% and Japan was 86%. So I'm kind of battling for these last states, and I can't get that last one. That's okay, though. Get the ships from China. Alright, that's pretty cool. Now we declare war on Japan. Trying to think of the composition of my troops here. I'll have one on Indu. Oh wait, hang on. There's going to be a few front lines here. Actually, is Siam in the Japanese faction? Yeah, they are. One here, two, and then three. And we'll have one army here. Need to get rid of revoke my access to Japan. Oh. Game just paused. I thought it was about to crash. And then maybe front line here. And another one here. I'll be honest with you, these front lines are a mess. Ah, these front lines are atrocious, actually. Let's just do that again. That was a mess. You know what? Field Marshal front line. Bollocks to it. Everyone go from here, apart from the militia. Yeah, that's good. Yep. I'm in a good spot now. Justification's almost there. Okay, for some reason this front line's kind of weird, so I'm going to Alt and click on the anchors on the corner and drag them out. Yeah, there we go. That covers the entire front. Two front lines. I'm going to put the one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone on this front. And I've messed up the front lines. Hang on a second. This is a Field Marshal front line. Why would it consolidate onto a single general? Anyway. You don't usually see this. I edit this out because I'm too embarrassed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Everyone on this front line. Yep. And then this guy, these guys stick to this front line. Yeah, there we go. What I'm doing is S to split over and over again and dividing them up. We need a few more on this front. There we go. Yeah, 7 divisions there. What I'd like to do is make an elephant division. So we'll go full 36 elephant. Elite. Elephants have insane stats, but they also use an insane amount of supply. So pros and cons, I guess. You can't make a break with horses. You'll never make it with elephants, particularly if it's on a low supply area. Why did these icons keep magically moving? 36 width is the sweet spot, and of course, all the same attachments as before. And what we'll do is make this guy our #1 man. The elephant leader. Yep, that's good. Alright, we're in position. Gonna get a little planning bonus. Wait for the generals to arrive. Raven in 5 days. Everyone on the front. Check for any supply depots that are not connected. Nah, they're all connected. And declare war on Japan. Will China join immediately? Not straight away, but they do straight after, and the supply flows naturally. And what you want to be doing is right-clicking on the supply depots, because that is going to allow you to make a continuous attack. There's not one here in the west. Oh, these aren't connected. That's the problem. Ooh. Connect. Connect. Just checking if everyone's got the cavalry leader bonuses. Most have. It looks like I've lost one of my militia. I wonder if I shrink my militia and then raise them up again, I get all 24 of them back. I'm not sure how it works. Are they gone forever? I don't know. I'm hitting these buttons to boost my ideology, war bonds for the reduction in consumer goods, and then public education. I keep going for this. Expanded education can be done when construction is in progress for a Mayo. So you get the 2 miles, then you can extend public education, which gives you a bonus to your education. The reason I went for the new trucks is I wanted logistics. This point, what would you go from here? So I was going to invest into tanks, didn't I? So I need the armor for the tanks. I need the engines for the tanks too. The most part, this is autopilot. Probably want to pull these guys off this front line. Pop them here. Yeah, reconsolidate the front lines. End of the day, if one front line is absolutely dumpstering and all the others is just stable and maybe losing ground, the ones that are absolutely demolishing can help consolidate the other front lines as they all join up later in the game anyway. As you can see here, we've completely demolished them. Another front line here. I always forget about this one. Pushing into the north. Supply depots aren't connected. Whoop. Here you go. 45 railway? What? By the time that's built, we'll have another railroad connected to it. You look for these river connections. These are the easier ones. Getting free supply to that one. What I might do is add these mountaineers onto the militia army. Even if it's overstacked, the penalty is 20%. It's not that bad. Balls to it. Don't need as much steel imports anymore. Naval invasion. What is this? Manchukuo's gone. Pyongyang, Seoul. To make new front lines and then keep pushing them forward. Oh, realize that's a very long front line. Come on, guys, connect up the fronts. Control B, get to the front. You guys go over here. Go over here, go over here. There's a bit of micro here, and then I'm also using the battle plans to push forward as well. Bit of both, bit of both, bit of both. A little bit of both. We've got diversify the special forces is quite fun. So I suppose what I could do now is go down a different path to gain additional bonuses. Not getting many bonuses though, but you can trade some bonuses over to the mountaineers. Being that I'm not using raw mountaineers though, it's probably not going to be that helpful to me. Might be a good idea to scan across the map looking for steel. Oh, I keep forgetting to core. A bit of steel here, bit of steel here. Bit of steel, bit of steel? What did you get in my video? Go away from my videos. No Belgiums allowed. A bit here as well. Yep. Getting just extra little tiny increments of steel, which will help our economy overall. As you can see now, steel is not much of an issue. We can just import from Sweden and have enough supply. Armor's important, and the first two engines are important too. Right click to victory. Once again, if you right click on the depots, Beijing, and then this one here, because there's a port here. Shift right click just to queue up the attacks. Disable the attack and reactivate the attack. I do that quite often just to see maintain the attack and keep it going. The chromium mines. Ah, chromium, the resource you use so much. It's definitely something I'm definitely going to need. So again, the AI is sometimes very reluctant to push when it's in slow supply regions, but if you do push, most of the time you do make gains. But just the way the game works, sometimes it's like, no, can't win that, so I'm not even going to attempt to it. Even when you've got them on aggressive here, they'll still be reluctant to push. Yeah, they're all connected up, but then the AI's like, no, not bothered. Whoosh. At least got 2 into engines, that's fine. Then we can go for a light tank with lots of armor. Had the light tank recon on. Only issue with light tank recon, it means I have to replace my rangers. And the rangers are pretty good for terrain penalties. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll change that. Maybe I'll not. End of the day, if I research it, I've researched it. It's there what it is. Like, you got a question though, is the terrain bonuses better or is the armor bonuses better? I suppose you just got to wait up, haven't you? Cavalry expert. Equipment, we need artillery because we've gone for the horses, the elephants. Oop. Logistics 1, followed by logistics 2. Now we need trucks. Make a few. And then we just add it onto everything. Logistics, 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 logistics. Now we need nothing. It has eaten to a few trucks, but apart from that, the supply situation is going to be easier now. That looks pretty good. Oh, trying to make a landing in the south here. The Raj has rised again. Gonna send half the divisions down there. Adaptable. Man, that's really good. So again, the AI is very reluctant to make attacks here. You can sometimes convince them by putting more attack orders. And seem to have made a bit of a difference. I think the attack order is the biggest factor, actually. Unless you have to take it off aggressive and put it under balanced and aggressive again, and back and forth, back and forth. Cap this nation. For some reason, Germany's not at war with Manchukuo. Interesting. Oosh. Pushing into the desert here, dead easy because there's no terrain penalties. And that should cap them. Is it cap them? Yeah, there we go. Attack, boosh. Control B. Probably think at this point, like, what's the challenge to this, Dave? Like, at this point, you just dumpster everything. Like, the terrain penalties, the horse penalties are so big, it's like, well, you're not really finding any resistance, are you? I'm like, yeah, you got to argue that. That's true. I guess in all fairness, just this kind of like casual painting the map is just very relaxing to me. It's like ASMR, you know? You guys into that? No? Yes? No? Maybe? I mean, I like it. Very relaxing. Go for the victory points and the supply depots. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Right click and go here. Probably the terrain penalties are going to be too bad here, so we can't break. Yeah. Typical problem that you need any marines, engineers, or naval invasion around it. Classic. What do you do at this point? Mechanical computing for research? You do all the main research first, and then you do the research, right? Maybe I've done that in the wrong order, maybe. Maybe. Also, I could choose to edit these videos if I wanted to. Would you guys be more interested in see the highlights reel? Because I can't close this pocket because Germany's not at war with Japan. Interesting. So, they have got guarantees on, but Because we're in a faction together, they can't join the war. It's like a bit of a loophole. Even if I get access into... I already have access, but I can't get into them for that reason. So technically this part of the map is no go. Technically, if you want to min-max this region, you kind of want to martial law it. So what you want to do is look through the list and look for the ones with the highest amount of resistance. In this circumstance, the highest resistance is Greece? Control Greece? I'll probably control some of the islands, don't I? You got China here, so in case you go for martial law and just reduce resistance here. See, the number's going to go down now. If it's a nation that you're currently at war with and they're in exile, like a puppet of Japan, in that case, it's probably better just to do martial law. Brutal is suppression law that you've got. And that will help reduce the resistance and minimize casualties and losses, I suppose. Calling process is very, very slow. I'm not a big fan of that. Armored skirts on your tanks. Press 1 in the comments, guys, if you like skirts on your tanks. Bangkok. And here. And here. All the Japanese divisions now are in Taiwan. Sorry, Siam. And left click. Usually a bit more precise where I'm building due to building areas with high infrastructure and terrain bonuses, construction bonuses. You go on the states map mode, you can look here and see that local construction is very, very high in the regions of Afghanistan, as well as the southern bit that I captured. And also this western bit as well. Resistance of occupation. That lasted so many years. Go front line. Front line. Here you go. Connect to the front lines here by going for here. Off we go. Don't need that many trucks anymore. At this point, I suppose you want to go for naval invasion techs. Which are here. That's right. The Timurids never invented the boat. We're making breakthroughs. Development as a society. Elephants in the jungles. Big push. Capture it all. Elephants. Go, go, go. Probably could convert another army to elephants now. Other one. Behind on artillery by 140 days. Still, it's peanuts. We can catch up. Yeah, easy. Conquerors of Persia, which I think gives some kind of railway bonuses. And a war goal. I already have Iran, so that's kind of pointless. The anti-Soviet occupation cooperation gives you attack bonus against the Soviet Union. Kind of pointless. Gains a state of Stalinabad. Stalinabad? Retake war goal against the Timurid Empire. I am the Timurid Empire. This part of the game, the focus trees get kind of weird. Oh, that's interesting. Seek alternative partnerships. You can get an extra planning bonus of 15% from the Axis. Wow, that's actually really good. I mean, 5%'s okay, but I mean, 10% is great, and then 15? Oh, wow. Big wow. Go here, go here, go here, go here. This situation, you might find yourself losing individual skirmishes, but if you consolidate and push them against the front line, you'll eventually win. Come on, guys, take Singapore. Come on. Boom. Elephants across the strait. There's a cheese to this. What you could do is delete this front line, go here. Then you wait for them to come, and then you push them back. It's a bit cheesy. 3, 2, 1, morg. Right click. And then there'll be low org when they arrive in, and you might be able to push them back. The movement speed's really slow, though. Then we're going to fight against 4 divisions. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, we beat them back. Okay, there you go. It is possible. Getting that supply down. Every time you get that research, a passive bonus applies. So Axis equipment gives subsidies, a bunch of equipment. No, that's pointless. Axis, Axis, Axis. No. Kind of curious about this one about cooperation against the Soviets and the free goal, war goal. I'm going to go for that one. No! One mechanized division. Come on. How many divisions we're facing here? The org is going down. You can do it! 77th Liberty Division. Done. Damn. That's beautiful, right? There's only really one thing to do now, and that'd be to declare war on the Axis, but that means I have to end the Allies first, and that would be invading America. What we got going on here? So the UK is capped. It's just the United States and Japan. Alright. This is gonna be a bit weird. So the only way we're going to be able to do this is if we make naval bombers to get naval supremacy. But then we need a bit of a navy as well. I mean, we have one ship. Ah, single early cruiser. That's from China, isn't it? Guys, I think that's pretty much the end of this campaign. I think actually going against the Axis was a big mistake. Because that means... Sorry, allied with the Axis. Sorry. Allying with the Axis. Sorry, I had to think about that. Look at the Axis world. Wow. Because that means I can't declare war on them. I'm stuck in a faction. You can't declare war on a faction. You can't leave that faction. They would have to boot you from the faction to do that, but the Axis never boot. They're like, ah, friend. Friend. I can't do a naval invasion unless I make a bunch of naval bombers. And make a bit of a token navy too. Could power drop too, but I haven't got an air force either. But man, the amount of conquest I made here is simply splendid. Yeah, and the coring is something that I'm very slow at doing. And you can see every time I core something, I gain about 100, 200,000 manpower because I'm coring land with all the modifiers that I've stacked. It's pretty impressive. Like, 2 million manpower for the Germans to help them out with their occupation. Why not? Wonder why they're not a Greater German Reich. Oh, I think because they have to control... Oh no, they've renamed the cities. They've not become the Greater German Reich. Vichy France is back. Bad France. Yeah, guys, as I said, this is members content. I play for an extra hour and see what can happen, what interesting things I can do. And I'll tell you about how I would fix a specific scenario to go any quicker. So yeah, the path here is Air Force. There's no doubt about it. Air Force is the way forward. You need to get the small planes in and get the torpedoes in. And then at that point, you can start striking the sea regions. You make a token navy. It doesn't have to be a big one. But eventually, you'll get naval supremacy to do a naval invasion. You can power drop too, but once again, that involves making a lot of planes. And eventually, even if you get a power drop in, you're still going to have to get naval control. So they're going to convoy raid you. So eventually, you're going to need to control the air. So air is the way forward. Air is the navy. That makes sense? It does make sense, that, isn't it? From a high 4 perspective, air is navy. Air Force is navy. Navy is Air Force. Does that make sense? I was thinking about a really powerful Air Force is definitely a good one. What I could do is go for army research. Then at that point you can go for this with a 50% bonus. Wow. And then go for bombs. To be fair with you, I wouldn't actually do torpedoes. Torpedoes are a bit limiting because you can only strike sea regions with naval strikes with that. I would actually be better off going for a bomb lock, which you'll soon see in a moment as I go for this research. The Republic of the Congo has joined the United States. Let's see. Oh, independent Congo. Wow. Belgium is no more. Yay. Belgium no longer exists. Actually, no, it's a puppet state. The Rijkscommissariat Belgian North Frankrijk. Frankrijk, I love that. Wow, naval invasion. Impressive. Yeah, I don't think the Germans can declare war on the Japanese because they've got guarantees. Once again, that's a really exploitative way of getting around the faction dynamics. Just for the sake of this game, I am actually going to show you guys how to make the ideal plane. We haven't even got an engine. Now this naval invasion, Vladivostok. Boop, boop, boop. Right click. Power of the right click. There's the elephant's assault. Why does the elephant go big and small every now and then? Look, small elephant, big elephant, small elephant. I feel like I'm playing Europa Universalis 4 when I see the elephants on the map. Exercise to level 3. Level 3 elephants are big though. They've got so much stats. Big win. But no steel now. Why do we need so much more steel? Oh, it's because we're making artillery, right? Oh, it's because we've gone free trade as well. Yeah, that's really hurt our... The reason I went for free trade is I wanted the research bonus so I can bonus these as much as possible. What I've done is I've stacked technology sharing because it's technology they've got. Get a 50% bonus, which is the cap. Then you max out the free trade bonus as well. Therefore, you're stacking all the bonuses to get the maximum amount of research so you can catch up. The only way you can really catch up. In most games, when I reach the point where I'm having to backtrack research because I'm so technologically behind and it'll take me so long to get the right numbers to actually win, I usually don't really care. So that's the reason why I back out my games in that circumstance. And more civvies. And more coring. I feel like coring is a little bit of a chore. They should allow you to do multiple cores at once. I don't know why you have to do it one by one. Yeah, if you've got the political power, you should let me course it. Because look at all these cores I can get here in Central Asia. And all these cores in India as well. Paradox, I'm disappointed. Getting more steel as well locally. The other stuff I need? No, all the other stuff I've already got. I'm producing so much tungsten. 44 in Bombay. Plus there's a bunch in Burma as well, isn't there? Yeah, look at all that tungsten. What's next? So we're waiting for the research. Bit of a waiting game, really a bit boring. Usually in a normal video I'd edit this out. The Syrian national state. It's independent. It's a puppet of Iraq. Interesting. Are there any other states? No, just that. So ideally, you want more than the first plane. Each plane gives increased range, so that's very useful. Machine guns tend to be worthwhile as well. The first engine will unlock the ability to make the second engine. You need the engines for the extra capacity. You also want to go for the range improvements. And also probably aircraft construction is useful for some of the modules too. Once again, what you're basically making is a multi-use plane. It's going to be basically a modified CAS with some fighting capabilities because it'll have a little bit of air attack on it. That's why I went for the machine guns. So we're going to add a turret onto it. So it's got a little bit of stats. And then it also has bombing capabilities for CAS, which is useful as a multi-use. But the main use is going to be naval striking. The beauty of bomb locks is you can do a bit of both. Questions always at life is why not both? Why not both? The one we want to go for is the CAS range. In that case, defense and production. And the economy is getting so big now. The late game bulge cap. Maybe when they add coal to the game, that'll not happen. Oh, they've landed. Hello. Well, hello there. Boom. There we go. Right click. Oh, you guys are all over here. Okay. There's no supply. Guess what I could do is ask Germany for access to this state. And they'll say no. Okay. Bit strange that this land has been handed over to the Germans. I know they controlled this from a national focus, but somehow they've captured all the other land around it. They're not technically classed as the same state. They're two independent states. Right click. Disappear. Research, research, research. So how's the rest of the world going? Portugal's gone. Africa is still being contested. United States is a big boy. 500 factories and 200 divisions. I'd expect them to have more divisions at this point. And then we have the very rare, the Reichskommissariat of Großer Britannia. I'm not sure if heavy machine guns are going to be worth it based on the weight limit, but I'm going to go for that anyway. Scandinavia is still free, surprisingly. The game has just suddenly just paused on me for a really long time. Have we got a crash? No, we've not got a crash. It looks like Germany has made Russia the Reichskommissariat of Moscovian. I've never seen that guy before. New meme has been unlocked. Isn't it really cool when you play this game so many hours and you see a character you've never seen before and you're kind of like, ah, new experience, new meme. Brand new meme. Just seen this icon here, the scavenger tactic. I just realized that's an icon that you see from Imperator Rome, isn't it? Alright, that's unlocked all the essentials. Now let me just show you the plane I would build. In this case, we're going to go for fighter. Has to be auto upgrade. We'll upgrade the engine too. It needs to have double bomb locks. We'll go for the heavy bomb locks, but we might not have the capabilities of the weight for that one, but we'll see how things go. Top it off as well, we need at least one light turret for a little bit of air attack and air defense. This just adds a little bit of air attack and air defense into a battle. Otherwise, without this, they've got no air attack and air defense, and therefore the capabilities of shooting down enemy planes is limited. I'm not saying it makes a lot of difference, but it adds some difference, so it allows you to take control if you've got the mass numbers, and then you want the extra fuel. But the problem now is we're overweight. Yep. In that case, we'd have to remove one of the bomb locks. 16 of 16. Yep, this is basically it. Fortunately, though, I didn't actually go for the air chief. We need to tick a bit of air XP in here to be able to go for this. 9 XP. You should be able to get the first one for free, right? If you've never designed a plane before, you should get the first one for free, right? No. Get like 10 imaginary points. But no, this is the one I'd go for. The range is super important. Every time you upgrade the chassis, you get more range. And then stacking on the extra fuel tanks is going to give you extra range too. Range, as well as the ability to land with naval strikes and close air support is the most crucial. So stacking those numbers as much as possible is important. You could alternatively, I guess, for double engine, I suppose. But then you're making the production costs go up massively. And you're not really gaining any extra stats for doing damage. All you're gaining is the ability to... I don't know, extra speed, I suppose. Gives you speed. Actually, doesn't give you speed. Never mind. Anyway, regardless, that's it. And then eventually you build up airports in these regions and start to strike the sea region, particularly the Sea of Japan, but you can also hit the Yellow Sea as well, and the East China Sea. East China Sea. And then also make some crap ship. Probably just make a bunch of subs just to give you some navy, just to give some naval supremacy. Remember, naval supremacy is based on a percentage, so as long as you knock out all the enemy ships from this region and then move yours in, you'll be fine. I've just realized there is actually another piece of the puzzle, actually. You will need radar. So you'd have to build an aerodynamics and avionics facility, then research radar. Do we have the ability to do radar? No. Oh, yeah, we've got 2 breakthroughs. In that case, you can immediately start researching radar. Otherwise, you'd not be able to detect the ships, so therefore with no detection you'll not be able to strike them with the naval bombers. Told you this is quite a monotonous process, unfortunately. There's a lot of steps you need to do before you can get naval support. If I was planning this campaign in advance and I was like, Japan is my objective and Japan is what I'm going to go for in the long game, in that circumstance then I probably would build a navy or an air force in advance to be planned for that. Guys, is there any suggestions you'd like to give me for this video? Is this kind of content you're actually enjoying and wanting lots to see more of? Let me know in the comments below. Apart from that, guys, hope you have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.